With the Xbox Game Pass being available for almost a year now to the PC audience, it seems like as good as any a time to finally ask the question, is it worth it? It's really actually hard to actually argue with the potential value when you look at what's on offer at first, right? Like I can get my hands on Red Dead Redemption 2 on console, but at the same time on the PC side of things, I have access to the likes of Sea of Thieves, Final Fantasy. The list goes on and there's plenty here. Oh, but hold on, wait a second. Pigeon, come on, buddy. We've been down this road before. Xbox tried to take my ownership away from my games, and I am basically just renting from them. And the answer to that would be, yeah. So what? You're renting for a measly fee, a teensy tiny fee when you actually look at it. So let's maybe think about what's on offer before we even get into the details of ownership. So you can even see recently they've been still adding more and more titles as time goes on. When I actually first subscribed to this, I've been subscribed to it since about September. There was plenty available. The Gears of War title was upcoming. There was a bunch of stuff on there at the time. I think Rage 2 was them releasing. They already have Forza Horizon, a bunch of the Microsoft products. By the way, that's another big thing. If you are a fan of any of the Microsoft series, remember that they released these games basically day one if they're coming to PC on this platform. And that's actually a pretty big incentive if you follow any of the big ones. If you're a big fan of Gears of War, is a perfect example. That was kind of like I finally wanted to try Gears of War, so I got involved. If you look at recently added games, right, you get some diverse entries. You get Cities Skyline, an amazing game itself. The Halo Master Chief Collection being released piece by piece into it. The likes of Final Fantasy being added, which by the way, I believe there was actually a recent announcement. I say recent actually, it was start this year by Square Enix that over the next year or two, they plan to release all the Final Fantasies on the Xbox Game Pass. So if you actually do enjoy the Final Fantasy series, there's already an incentive there. I'm not saying jump on straight away, but definitely something to look at. When you consider whether you want to get this pass, whether you actually want to hop on board, it really comes down to you just opening up your browser, having a look at what's available right now, and if you can just find one tile that really pops out to you, right? Let's say I go to games library, I'm like, man, I am really looking for a cool shooter. And I whip up those shooters and I see, huh, I got Wolfenstein Youngblood. I actually haven't tried Wolfenstein Youngblood yet. I'm not sure why I want to try it, considering the previous Wolfensteins were probably better, but I want to give it a go. How much is Wolfenstein Youngblood going to cost me right now? Let's have a look. If I want to buy it on Steam, which let's be totally honest and 100% transparent about this, you're not going to buy it at full price. But let's use it as a metric. You go on here. I'm totally born in 1958. Don't yell at me, all right? I know it's beautiful. The way I keep my skin so nicely smooth is simply by feasting on the souls of young people and consuming their young blood. But if you want to buy young blood right now, £25 is what you're going to be paying. Let's say you can actually get it through slightly different methods, but still paying a price and technically being legal, then you're probably going to be paying what, £7-8 maybe if you find it super cheap. So even if you pay £7 or £8, what if I told you you could access Wolfenstein Youngblood right now, and all you'd have to pay, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, is £1. What? £1. That's right. You could actually get access to this right now if you just paid up £1. You ponied up £1. Or $1, depending on where you're from. And then look at the price afterwards. This is actually the big incentive. This is the thing that really hooks you in. Right now, to get access to that entire library that is on Games Pass and is constantly having new stuff added to it, and you will also have access on the PC side, and I believe you do keep access on the Xbox side, is $5. You'll pay $5 a month. Now, think of it like this. Yes, you won't own these games, but guess what? You will actually be able to blaze your way through I don't even know how many games. If you're looking at it from this logic, right, it is great to own your games, right? I love owning my games. But guess what? It doesn't really have as much of a, I don't know, wow factor to it, a substance to it, compared to digital versus physical copies, right? You're buying a digital already, so you're halfway over to this kind of situation where it doesn't matter as much anymore. And my point where I'd say it doesn't matter for 99% of people is that you'll come in here and you'll be like, man, see, I could just buy Gears of War 4. Or I could subscribe to Xbox Game Pass and complete it within a month. Are you ever going to go back to that game after a month? Now, I'm not insulting the Gears franchise at all. But I'm saying when you look at these products and you look at these services, the big flack that people have is, man, I have to keep subscribing if I want to go back and play it. Well, here's a thought for you. If you were able to access a brand new game, let me give you a perfect example here, actually. It's upcoming soon, is they are going to have Wasteland free. So let's say you are a Wasteland fan. Why wouldn't you be a Wasteland fan? Probably should be. If you haven't tried them, go ahead and try them. If you like Fallout, similar concept, different game design, and actually, if you played the original Fallouts, props up to you. You already know what good taste is. Look at this. Wasteland. It's not out yet, but it's coming up. 28th of 8th, 2020. Although, for some reason, I'm going to install it already. Jumping the gun a little bit there, aren't you, Deep Silver? Anyway, I can install it. I could play it when it comes out, and I would be paying $5 to get access to a game that I know is going to be probably $40. Now, if you want to do the basic maths, are you going to complete that game in 8 months? And the answer is pretty much always going to be yes, I'd imagine. I don't know how big Wasteland is. I can't confirm that 100%. But let's say you complete it the first month, and then a few months down the line, you go back and you're like, man, I really want to play that game again. If you actually calculate the cost to go back and do it, and think about all the games you're going to be playing in the meantime on these type of passes, especially the Xbox Game Pass in this situation, the value is clearly there. Like, this is literally a better version of Blockbusters. Okay, that's how you have to imagine this in your mind. Is that you don't have a physical copy, but why do you need a physical copy like you had in Blockbusters? There's a reason that company died off. Whereas here, look at this. I've been playing some Final Fantasy. I was playing it before I left for Ukraine, which, by the way, I left my subscription running the whole time while I was in Kiev. Yeah, it cost me $10. Did I even use it? No, because I was out there playing Dota, playing Valorant, Apex Legends. They were locking me down. But I know now that I'm home, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start picking up where I left off with Final Fantasy XV. That already interests me. The new Halo 2 just came out. Like, new Halo games are releasing. I've never played Halo games before, and this was a grand opportunity. Yeah, I could have paid like 25, 35 pounds or whatever that is in bucks on Steam to own it permanently, but I don't know if I want to own it permanently. Like, this is kind of like your opportunity to demo games, and in most cases, complete them and move on. There are examples in here where you might want to go and purchase them, and guess what? If you want to do that, you get a discount when you do that. I'm not saying you necessarily have to do it through this platform. Once again, I'm sure people have places that they most definitely probably shouldn't be accessing right now. Whoop, no, not going there. But at the same time, you have the option, right? So you can already see that usually it'd be £30 for the Master Chief Collection, or you can get it for £24 for the Game Pass. A nice little discount. And actually, if you do the maths and you're treating this as a rental service, you basically rent the game to find out if you want it, just like you used to in the good old days. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe you like to roleplay Pirates of the Caribbean, if you get what I mean. Personally, I'm not on that train. I see it from the game developer's side. But at the same time, I get that taste, I enjoy that product, and then I can go buy it, and it's basically the price of a rental. Alternatively, in many cases, there are going to be so many games here that I'm probably never going to access again. Like, when I finally get around to playing Pillars of Eternity, I probably won't come back to that again. Bad North Joan, nice little game. I probably won't go around to playing it again once I've done a complete run through. Our Worlds, another perfect example of a game where people paid like £40, or you could have had access to it here, completed it in less than a month, and be gone. And these are just a few games that I've installed. I'm currently installing the Final Fantasy. I don't know why I paused that, but I've been slowly making my way through the old Final Fantasies. Didn't play them when I was growing up. Now I'm actually getting exposed to them, and I'm planning to very much enjoy this game. Prefer to have it on my Switch, of course, but you know what? I know Switch is never going to offer a similar service. At the same time, when I'm sitting at home so long, why wouldn't I want access to these games? And the list will just go on. If I was to actually show you who's recently added, like, it's just a few of them, you can already see 2 or 3 here that you'd probably be interested in, or I personally would be. Like, if I don't already have Alien Isolation, great game. Wasteland 3, excited when that comes out. Yakuza. Being able to play Yakuza on my PC, dude. I remember that game back on the PS2. This is the great thing. You just get a good mix of games. And I would say, if I compare this to the other services, which I'm going to be looking through again over the coming weeks, especially considering we're all stuck at home, I would say that this one offers amazing value for one of the lowest prices out there. $4.99. And yeah, it is a limited time price offer. But guess what? It's been at that limited price for almost a year. Well, we're getting there. It's like 2 or 3 months out from a year, but it's still that price. You can still get access right now, and I really would recommend giving it a try. I think there is something in here for at least everyone for one go. I would say this is a service that people, even who are like financially prudent and they're a little bit, very tight pursed, you could get your value by subscribing once every 3 months and coming through and just blazing through games that interest you, whether it's Gears Tactics, which came out, which was recent, by the way. They basically had access to this day one on this platform. Or say, let's go for, if we're going down in the classics, Age of Empires. You know, that's a game that you maybe come back to in a long time. But there are plenty of games in here that you're going to get burst through and you're going to be done with. And is it not better to pay $5 to do that than pay $40 and maybe you come back to it once in 4 years' time, like a forgotten fling, remembering the good times, only to play through it and realize the nostalgia has died off and you actually hate the game at that stage? That's kind of my take on this. I think this is definitely a platform worth trying at least once in a while. I've just had a running subscription for a long time. It's maybe not the most efficient thing to do with my money, but on the odd days, I do find myself just signing in, having a blaze through some of the Final Fantasy content, or maybe I'm trying Forza. There's just so much there. I think these sort of services are great, and I want to see more of them. I don't feel like, at least when I last looked, the likes of the EA Access had anywhere near this kind of level of content, and at the same time they charge more. Same with the Ubisoft side of things. I think if they bring those prices down, they're going to entice people. The cool thing is that people that are interested in that product and want to stick with it for a long time will pick it up after they try it. Right? A perfect example of how you can upsell if you're Microsoft here is I think they do give access on the Gears side of things to all the content for the new Gears 5 in the Game Pass. I'm not entirely sure, but even if they don't, like, that's an upsell opportunity, and I don't blame them for doing it. But at the same time, if we're talking about Gears 5, if I'm heavily into the competitive scene and I see this lasting a long time, I will demo it here, I become enticed by it, and then I end up buying it. It's an upsell, and people sometimes get upset by that logic, like, oh, I'm being ripped off by the developer. No, they're literally just giving you an extended demo. Instead of letting you play one level, they're telling you, play our whole goddamn product. You'll love it that much that you might buy it afterwards. And I think that kind of service is cool. I love to see more of it, and I hope we actually see Xbox Game Pass just continue to expand. I'm a big fan of it. I don't know. I came back after 2 months. There's a bunch of new titles in it. I just thought I'd show it to you guys because I remember today I opened it up. I saw some stuff in there that I'm really excited about. Like Final Fantasy IX is definitely high on the list. Halo 2 Anniversary. I only just started playing for the Halo series for the first time with that Master Chief Collection, courtesy of the Xbox Game Pass that I probably wouldn't have touched otherwise. And I plan to enjoy them to the fullest. And whatever way you kind of measure your value, like I used to have a logic when I was a little kid. If I get £1 an hour, it's a good buy, right? Or if it's a really strong story, if I can get £4 for an hour, really good buy. Well, guess what? I think you can very easily get your buy value, even if you were to subscribe for a whole year to this service and they didn't update the current roster of games, you definitely get your value. So that's my recommendation. I'd say it's a buy. I'd say you should definitely give it a try. Just saying it's a buy like that made me just have flashbacks to Leonard from Community. Maybe we should start doing pizza reviews on this channel. But that's my review of Xbox Game Pass. I would thoroughly recommend at least giving a 1 month try, especially for the small price of £1 or $1, just to see if it is your flavor and to see if you're on board with the hype of it. But I'm going to round out this video. Thank you for watching to this point, and hopefully you are feeling inspired to go game. I think actually this sort of service is perfect right now, especially when you consider it all at home, right? And you've got more time to game for a lot of people. And it would be nice to have a service that costs less when you know you're going to play more, especially when you have less money at the moment. Something to think about. But that's enough thinking done for this video. I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you for watching as always, and I will see you in the next one.